afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, another everything amazing Propagandacast with me, your host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero Strike, Defender of the Fatherland, God Emperor of Mankind. Off here to 1 vs 1 on Arnhem Checkpoint. The setting is Hungary 1944. The Red Army is charging across the plains of Hungary towards the capital of Budapest. In the south we got Norsk fighting here for the German army, Deutschland, die Feldherrnhalle Panzergrenadierdivision, tasked with counterattacking and throwing back this assault, this affront to Germany and coincidentally Hungary this time around. In the north we got Fortune fighting for the Red Army, Socialism, the Second Guards Mechanized Corps, tasked with shattering the fascists, breaking their jaw and ripping off their fingers. And we got here awesome Spearhead Mobile Defense for Norsk with Triple Infantry versus Defensive Tactics, Urban Defense, and Guard Rifle with Engineers and Double Infantry there for Fortune. Constant Engineers out there, and we got a maximum start here for Fortune, rolling out those water-cooled machine guns to cool down those fascists. Oh wait, I just learned they're actually meant to shoot them. Well, what do you know. MG42 moving up there, grabbing the point here. Looks like he's going to focus on the eastern side initially. Good, though there's going to be still a bit of emphasis on the centre here for Norsk, which does mean his forces will be slightly scattered, which can be a bit risky. We also, of course, have to see how he handles here a Maxim build. You don't see a lot of Maxim builds from the Search, at least not versus the Wehrmacht in 1 vs 1s. 2 vs 2s, at least in my opinion, they do feel a bit more common, but 1 vs 1s, it's not super common. Admittedly, this is Fortune, who has absolutely no issue just playing whatever he wants to in 1 vs 1s. Like, Fortune does what Fortune wants to do, as we've seen in several matches previously. We just went straight for an elephant tank destroyer in a 1 vs 1s because that's what Fortune wants to do. Mortar on the way here to help counter machine guns, since obviously the Germans are going to go for an MD42 max to the court here, but the MD42 a few shots flying above but not quite hitting. More gunners on the way there for Norsk. You should have seen the maximum there, that should have clued him into what sort of strategy you should be expecting, in which case the counterpoint should likely be a mortar here for Norsk as well at some point down the road. And you're taking damage, there you go, maximum out negative carbon. In fact, being shot here, but then Fortune was still managed to crawl into the church, seek sanctuary, ring the church bell, accuse the punchback of being in a filthy a bull bourgeoisie, and then hauled off to the NKVD. MD42 flying down here at the maximum side of the house. We've got Grenadiers flying from the south here. Count TK saying out there. Maximum turning about to deal with the other Grenadiers squad. Grenadiers trying to get past the MD42 and just barely managed to make that modifying the MD42 up north. Is still the maximum taking heavy damage. Now it's just running around here on the corners. Ooh, he's trying to sort of, bait the maximum to turn again, which can just shoot it there. Engineers coming up from the other side. Looks like he's just hearted here. Fortune's basically just hoping that Norsk is just going to do this reflexively until he realizes, gets caught up in it again. But so far, though, Norsk has seen through Fortune. He has read his book. The Book of Fortune. Which, interestingly enough, is actually a colouring book. Grenadiers are almost taking out the Maxim here. Other Grenadiers moving up. Almost got here. In fact, MD42 is setting up another house here. And there you go, finally popping out that Maxim there. MD42 that could wipe it in retreat, though he might not be able to grab it. Got the mortar moving up here for Fortune. Second Maxim has arrived. I can't help but wonder if this actually paid off for Norsk just fighting around here when he could have probably been hitting the rest of the map instead. Obviously, he might be worried about conceding the center area here to Fortune, but as I like to say, your tanks don't run at center victory points, they run on fuel, and there's plenty of center victory points here, but there's no fuel in the center. Running into the house here. MD42 is not retreating though, it's still here, very low on health, and easy tower there for Fortune's mortar. Third maximum way there for Fortune, point then be secured. Back at base we got no take up there for Norsk, though we do get the mortar, the Granatenwerfer. Pioneers on watch, they're going to grab the centre victory point for the fatherland, having claimed it after so many casualties, so much bloodshed. And me in the west Grenadiers was conscripts. They're getting also good. The Grenadiers all a bit depleted. That should be an engagement for Fortune, particularly since it's going to have light cover. The Grenadiers will not. Mortar the arriving here is going to provide some backup there for Norsk forces in the centre. Fortune meanwhile just applying more pressure against Norsk for the Red Army. For Comrade Stalin, avoiding time in the gulags. As noble a cause as any. Lots of maxims here for Fortune. Norsk here would probably benefit from actually taking out fast and going for a flame for a half deck. Tends to be, shall I say, a pretty good counter to maximum spam. You can also go for a lot of 2-2s, but in general, light vehicles tend to be very solid for counting maximum heavy builds here. Fortune probably just with 1 infantry squad. We don't have take up yet there for Norsk. I think he's pretty serious priority, to be honest, for him. Got an admirably positioning as Fortune is flooding into the centre there. Still no take up. Come on, Norsk. Get that tech going. Get those light vehicles flowing. Banker up there for Norsk. Cardiff going to attack over the Maximus. Norsk attacking head on. No smoke screens, no attempt to focus on playing around the centre. This is quickly turning in favour of them. Fortune, unless Norsk changes something drastically. Mortar there being repulsed as Fortune just a laser down here for the motherland. Flanking the match with the Grenadiers. Fortune might be a bit too inflexible. They got flamethrowers up as well. They're putting pressure on Fortune's centre forces. A bit outmaneuvered all of a sudden here by Norsk as he strikes rapidly with a fiery belief that Germany will win. Fortune by the way coming into Guard Rifle, well, some Guards Riflemen actually. To that we're giving some infantry that can sort of take on Norsk's light vehicles, that way help covering as Maximus, but so far Norsk remains hesitant in taking up. Fortune in fact has straight on moved ahead for the tank command. He might not be able to push for anything right now, but still he has it as an option. I mean, he could rush out an anti-aircraft after actually, which can still to an extent fight versus the 2-2. Plus he's just really mean otherwise. I mean, he can suppress units on the move, amongst other things. He's close to that. We got another machine up for Norsk. Tech up also finally happening. Smoking down here, good move though. In this case, still forced to retreat, but would have been great for him to force the maximum move up closer to just get shot up by the Grenadiers. Need to defend the carve point once more from the vital ration, but he's also hitting here Fortune's resources. Norsk keeping up pressure. Fortune, trying to push back at the fascists. Come on, Ivanov, we need fascists to murder, otherwise the boss gets upset. The boss, Stalin. Oh. We got some machine guns for the one lone counter squad there. Not bad at all, not bad at all. No flamethrowers up here for Fortune. Or even minesweepers. Maximum there pushed back, but few cut off point there still needs to be claimed here for the fatherland. Hang on, there we go. Got a bit of a cold. But we got their half-track out for Fortune. The M5 half-track provides for the rations via Lend-Lease. Fun fact, the Americans pretty much only used the M5 half-track for Lend-Lease because it was actually a bit worse than the M3 due to weaker armour. So they pretty much kept all the M3 to themselves and handed over the M5 so the rations and the British and Wells. Little fun fact there. Another fun detail about the M5 we can get back to later, but come on, maybe. It's basically had mounts for additional 30 caliber machine guns on the sides. On these bits of this sort of right about there, you could theoretically mount another pair of them. It was rarely used as an option though, but it was an option, which I find is kind of cool, if not a bit silly, but fun note there. Modifying the maximum, comes to the engineers and as well. Flamethrowers not still being added to the engineers, so of course put out minesweepers. I'll wait. Fortune getting aggressive with some mechanized infantry tactics. Great to see that from the Soviet players. You rarely see them, but clearly Fortune, of course, is a trailblazer, a pioneer in Soviet tactics and strategy. While the men stay to what is tried and true, Fortune boldly goes where no Soviet player has very often gone. Reinforcing the country close to the front line, half turning about there with his 50 gun mount on the front, firing away at the fascists. Making the pioneers, they're murdering them with heavy fire there. Would have been great if they had a flamethrower on inside the engineers so they could quickly clear out the buildings nearby as well. They've been really strong here for Fortune, but still nice mechanized infantry push to exchange to the Grenadiers who can panzerfaust it, but with the engineers nearby, once the Grenadiers have been repulsed, it's not going to matter much. Plus the concept with the submachine guns is going to make it a bit harder as well for them to do anything there. Either way, nice play by Fortune. I mean, really, you just so rarely see Soviet players, even more so, use the half-tracks. And certainly not for these purposes. So I always loved actually see someone use half-tracks, for half-track things. Rather than just, weapons platform things. Engineers finally reinforced there. Half-track good to go once more for the Red Army. Troops reinforcing. We got unit medics on the way there for Fortune as well. Car point there being hit. For Norsk, looks like he's planning a tier 3 rush. I mean, we've got 4 grenadiers, 2 machine guns, and 1 mortar with mobile defense, of course, acting as the backup. But he sort of needs to push it harder. It does tend to be a bit of a recurring issue for a lot of players. If they do try to pull off a tier 3 rush, they tend to not quite get the whole rush for it. There we go. Mark that gunnet. Lost unit here to the demo charge. Grenadier squad evaporated, wiped out. There we go, attack on the cop on it. Gunner's going to panzer fast, but they're going to take heavy damage. Already most of the Grenadier squad have gone into the 5th caliber and the flamethrower. 6 kills, very close to 52. Insane on people body not popped here. Could have probably done that. Might have taken out the half track alongside the Panther first, but there you go. Still close to 52 on the M5 half track already. Machine gun needs to be careful, fixing it up. Back here, healing reinforcement going on there for Norsk. Half tech falling back, very, very close to 52. Fuel point there, cut off once again for Norsk. Maximum change to the MG4 chart in the opening. This is definitely a win here for the MG42. Pretty easy. We got flamethrower punishment as well here. Maximum coming from inside the house. But that's going to get scorched as well. Another maximum moving up here. Fortune might want to lay down some smokes and something else. This assault is starting to look pretty awkward here for Fortune. And very costly as a maximum crew gets absolutely cooked inside the house. Got the half to the flanking up there again, using the flamethrower. There you go. Hits a Telemine, almost loses the entire unit of engineers in there as well. Better loss there for Fortune. Still would say the half tech did reasonably well. Guards on the right here for Fortune for the Red Army for the 2nd Guards mechanized corps. Back here we got nothing further going on there for Norsk. He's cancelled the tech, in fact. That's a bit of a disappointment, to be honest. Bit of a disappointment. He definitely should be taking out faster. He should be pulling for, you know, some medium armor here versus Fortune. More contra away there for Fortune. Take up again happening for Norsk. Norsk seems to be indecisive in this case, ended up delaying it by several minutes, which are not exactly called very good. And of course, he probably should consider, to be honest, some S-mines around the calf point here, since Fortune is absolutely loving harassing, and he of course might consider getting out to use some of his troops to actually harass Fortune's region. In fact, Fortune right now has very few men. In that sense, in fact, he's not flexible, but the thing is, the way Norsk is playing, he's actually allowing Fortune to get away with this, because he's not trying to press, you know, as broad a frontage as possible here versus Fortune. So that's actually kind of working out here for Fortune surprisingly well. And certainly highlights just, you know, the importance of actually trying to harass and look for opportunities to harass, because sometimes you might learn that your opponent actually doesn't have as many forces as you like to think he has, in which case you can grab more territory to an extent, which is actually why the German doctrine generally suggested you play or acted much more aggressively, because you're more likely to find opportunities to actually push ahead and do damage rather than just, you know, sit back. So German doctrine to an extent, you know, rather had some tactical advantage in that sense, because they're more likely just to find opportunities to exploit. In this case, the way Norsk is playing, he's not quite finding those, because he's so focused on the central line, trying, you know, look out the rest of the map. Telemann for the center victory point. Take up finally down to get that support crop schnell, because Fortune is not hesitating. On the other hand, he's just rolling ahead here for the Red Army. Hitting the calf point again. MG42 is coming up here. Should retreat those ponies. They're going to get the support corps up. Achtung, Achtung, schnell. Guardsman Maximus moving out here. Mortar and Cho as well there for Fortune for the Red Army. Grenadiers retreating in the face of them. And we got Doctrine up for Norsk. It is Spearhead. So it's going to be Spearhead versus Guard Rifle. I doubt he will be going for mortar half-tanks. Most likely we'll be seeing Tiger tanks and maybe a fragmentation bomb. Possibly some reconnaissance. Flat Panzer Tactician is likely, but the mortar half-tank seems, at least at the current stage, not frightfully likely. But he's that support crop soon. He certainly cannot, I think, get away with strong for a Tiger. Partly he's 6 command points away from that, which is, you know, kind of silly, but also he's just going to get crushed by armor before he does so. And we can see there Norsk is in fact not doing that very sensibly. But otherwise, Norsk retains a good position now versus Fortune after he's pushed him out of the centre. But again, I feel like Fortune could have done... What? He actually went for the mortar half-track, the swine! He proved me wrong, the bastard. Anyways, mortar half-track out here. I mean, that's more artillery here for Norsk. Mobile artillery, in fact. With incendiary rounds and other fun things there. So, I mean, they could be effective, but You just don't see that very often, so someone actually going for it is a bit of a surprise. We'll see how he makes use of it though. An incendiary around here could be quite effective. Well, the mortar after the 257. No, there was also one for the 251 half-tank actually. But obviously they didn't have a model from that one from companies ones I met, and they just went for the 250 since the Panzer Elite made use of that one. But yeah, little fun note there. Panzer on the way from Norsk as well. After just playing artillery support, he should be using the barrage ability since that's A fast and is actually more accurate. Auto fire in this situation is less wildly effective. Guardsman reports here by the supporting infantry. And actually noting he's merging country with the Guardsman, they got play their T-Fit Forceman 6 away for Fortune. Norsk almost got his Panzer IV ready. Mortar half-tank firing away, going for the carve point, and they need to counter-attack immediately. And a demo charge in the house after he pushed out the machine gun. Good play there by Fortune, meaning he pops in a machine gun again into there. That house is going to go away. Ooh, he needs to spot the demo charge. Hopefully he does it. I don't think he has. It's actually kind of obvious if you're sort of looking here, but for now it seems like Norsk... Oh, there we go. It's like... Otto, yeah, I think the Russians left us a package. Ooh, what is it? It's a bomb, you idiot. Yeah, there we go. Fortune is like, you know, Dimitri, yes, I have a good timing about these now. And just sets it off. No pin machine entry for the Panzer IV. Norsk should consider that. Fortune's T-34 and 6 is ready here to shatter some fascists. And this was a Guardsman. Panzer IV moving up, Guardsman moving in as well. Pioneers going to be all on watch, and then go Guardsman caught out in the opening. Panzer IV shoots, doesn't quite hit. Got the MB-42 joining in the front, and the West Pioneers advancing and pushing up Fortune's front line. T-34 shoots, heroically obliterates a tree clearly destined for fascism, but not really hurting any actual fascists beyond that. In their calming fine, incendiary armor piercing rounds would be helpful versus the infantry in the centre. Another push here. Again, incendiary armor piercing rounds could possibly be an idea here for them. Incendiary armor piercing rounds actually really useful in a lot of sort of purposes. But sometimes players do neglect to use them in this regard. Norsk does seem like the type who doesn't use it, which is a shame because again, it's actually a really strong ability. In a lot of ways. It's useful for countering light vehicles, it's useful for just getting more damage out, and of course it's useful for punishing your opponent, even digging up units of buildings. Like, it's a pretty handy ability to be honest. And it's pretty cheap too, at only 15 munitions. It's a bargain. Welcome to Mad Wilhelm's Mad Ammunition Store. We have so much incendiary armor piercing rounds you won't believe it, and the prices are insane. So come down to me, Crazy Wilhelms. Wasn't it Mad Wilhelms? I'm insane. Who cares? Just come down and grab as much incendiary explosive ammunition to murder your enemies with. Flares off here for Fortune to scout out the centre. T-Fit all been fixed up here for Fortune. Mortar after so far is not doing a lot of damage. Again, he needs to barrage more with it. Really is key on mortars, I feel. Game ready to the mortar though. Not bad there from Norsk, not bad at all. And we got a howitzer up here for Fortune, some artillery of the heavier kind. So I'm getting mortared. Mortar half-tank, mortar they could practically try and support here. Incendiary rounds could be good at just a regular barrage there from Norsk's mortar after kind of runs to the Guardsman, but Russian mortar getting rifle grenaded. Guardsmen are hitting the dirt. T-Fit moving in. He needs to get with the Panzer IV. Pioneers bring up mortar after just considered fire away sort of a bit ineffectively. Maxim flanking in here, but running into a lot of resistance from the Germans. T-Fit moving up. 300 points left here for Fortune. Good work there by Norsk. Fortune definitely needs to change this up some. Of course, the howitzer can't digging up. And there you go. Incendiary armor piercing finally happening. As you might know, it's been doing a lot of damage here. Maxim though hits the wrong door. Chooses poorly. almost gets wiped. They're pretty damn close. Pretty damn close. T-34 that hits the Telemine. Panther they might have a chance of taking out here. Another attempt them to back up. Panther misses though. Machine gun turning up. Here, Guardsman coming up the flank, but could maybe take it out with the mortar fire there. Good barrage on it. Could do the job. Maybe the mortar after could join in. Either way, troops are healing and forcing. Pack for there for Norsk. Fortune going for field gun himself. Very good decision there. Panther 4 needs to get it close there and fix to clear out the T-34 as fast as possible. Oh, I should say he's missed that opportunity. Of course, he needs the mortars to bombard the Guardsman, but sadly, Norsk, though, is not a big mortar man. He seems to start having several of them. He does not like apparently using the barrages, which could otherwise, I think, cleared out the Guardsman in a very fast line that Panther 4 to go straight for the T-34, but instead, Fortune is allowed to conduct a much more safe stalling operation against the Panther 4. So I would say that's a bit of a mistake there by Norsk, to be honest. Allows Fortune to actually salvage his T-34-76. Norsk, there's anything here for another Panther 4, so he's clearly not just stalling for a Tiger tank, which is great to see him. We got the howitzer firing off as well now. 152mm gun howitzer. Bombarding here Norsk's base. Murdering hapless medics. Possibly a mortar crew as well, almost. Pioneers is the submachine wielding conscripts. Fortune still on infantry, but none still recommend more. It's just a bit more, of course, the Maxims here for the surge can to an extent act as infantry. They can just suppress units due to the sheer flexibility of the Maxim machine gun. And Maxim covering the car front, Maxim standing about here, covering up as well. And there we go, we got the Panzer IV here for Norsk. Troops healing, reinforcing. Panzer IV mobilized für Deutschland. Got the T-34 moving up, pushing into the back 40. The Panzer that can only feel to east to penetrate the T-34 frontal armor. After taking a hit, he needs to fall back. Looks so scheiße. He's not doing it. Lost the half. That was definitely a bit sloppy there by Norsk, to be honest. A bit sloppy. He didn't even do a lot with the mortar. It just feels like it was a waste he went for it when he wasn't even going to use his enemy's abilities like the incendiary round to just barrage a bit. So I'm not entirely sure why Norsk went for it except because he could. I mean, not necessarily a bad thing to go for it because he can, but you know, at least you want to try and get more out of it. Field gun wiped out, that'd be a tactically big win here for Norsk, but 14 is desperate trying to recruit here and might just be able to pull it off here. Nope. Oh, he lost the engineer squad trying to do and a flamethrower. That's not too bad there for Norsk. Particularly Panther rolling in here on the field gun. Howard's there, soon ready to fire again. Should probably try and clear out the area around here, to take out units inside the base, to be honest. He's not going to win this war by just killing the medics again and again. When right now there's a large concentration there of Norsk's force, and there you go, Fortune realizes this and begins firing down here with 152mm gun howitzer. First shot fired, missed somewhat. Admittedly, the rations weren't huge on accuracy when it came to the artillery. They rather relied on large pre-planned barrages. They just messed up these. Holy smokes! He just wiped all of Norsk's pioneers. That was actually pretty silly, sort of trying to pound an artillery zone there, but still, all of the pioneers gone. That is 400 manpower vanished in the blink of an eye. That is a huge manpower drain there on Norsk. Plus he got the Pack 40 crew. That's pretty big for the howitzer. But yeah, as I was trying to say, weren't big on that. They rather relied just on huge mass artillery packs that just used anything they can fire. Field guns, different types of howitzer sizes, whatnot. They just had them all fire at the same spot at the same time. Like, they weren't quite concerned. In fact, Hitler apparently was impressed by it on some degree and actually tried organising late war the German artillery units to actually work on the same principles. They even formed up Volksartillerie, which are these sort of, say, mixed artillery batteries of Pack 40s formed into artillery pieces, which are known as the Feldkanone 40 and different sized howitzers. The problem was, of course, the Germans did not have the same amount of artillery, so to repeat that, but they still tried, as a fun fact. As a fun fact.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Panzer IV engineers quick pushing them back. More to find direct hit again. Good God. Pioneers white once more. T for the work backed up the field guns guardsmen. Rolling ahead here against Norsk. Pack 40's up, finding the T-34 from the 6. Panther 4 nearby. I'm assuming it involves flares and other things, maybe just a bit of good guessing here from Fortune. Since, I mean, the way the Norsk is playing, he's not really moving his tanks far away from the front line. I mean, he's not even seeing it to the zone, so Mark isn't a good guess there. Though it used to be in companies when you can even hear repairs through the fog of war, I believe. So you could, theoretically, you could hear that here, you could just, you know, fire after that maybe. Aircraft shot down. So that howitzer is proving itself very valuable. Need to fix up those Panzer IVs. Strafing on going up again before towards the conscript, catching up, he's pressing them pretty rapidly. Incendiary on people pretty great here for Norsk, and this looks like he's setting up for the target tank now here versus Fortune. Saving up for it. In the dirty with the guardsmen opening up, the conscript pushed back by the MU-42 until they're firing down the guardsmen. Fortune is taking some losses, but Norsk is just starting to get anywhere. Like, again, he's just been, shall we say, overall less flexible than Fortune in a lot of ways. Although he still has a victory point lead over Fortune, that is nothing to scoff at with 456 versus 174. Flanking up the Panther 4 could work and clear up the Maxims one by one to get the other Panther 4 back in action as soon as possible. Reconnect the fuel and, of course, get out that target tank. Rapidly, so Fortune is bringing up more field guns. He's probably going to anticipate something big and armoured coming his way. At least he should be. Other Panther 4 close to being done there and setting out for Germany. Fuel point still not reconnected. T-44 flanking a bit here, putting pressure on Norsk around the centre. Panther 4 setting out here for the fatherland. Veterans 1 halfway 22, other one with Veterans 1 they're almost being ready. Panther 4 setting out, Pioneers going in for the eastern cut-off point. Panther 4 swinging up in the west, T-44 falling a bit back. And barely saves the MD-40 here from a device inside the church. This is about to get turned into a mausoleum. By Fortune to deliver PC with 19 kills alongside their Veterans 2. Fuel finally flowing in which case Norsk should be able to get out a target tank in roughly 1 minute and begin, well, a minute and a half. And begin making things a bit more difficult for Fortune. T-44 versus Panther 4, Panther 4 pack 40, they're just doing a bit of damage before the Panther 4 falls back. Guardsmen filling up the west side here, putting more pressure on Norsk, who's now trying to push a bit more across the front here. Nisa's Panther 4 fixed up again. Max modified from the Grenadiers. Coming up, got the Panther 4 running it back up to be prepared by the Pioneers for the victory point. Field wise again, super close. Similar with the target tank. He's super close manpower wise, field wise he's super close. He's not far off. Not far off. We're talking seconds here before he can really begin applying pain to Fortune. Unfortunately, got two field guns to the T-44 stop. That's going to be interesting to see how that works on, particularly since he also has a large arm advantage here versus Fortune. Got it from the Panther 4 there on the conscripts. Target tank is go. There for Norsk for the second, oh not second, the third Alipan's going to show him. There we go. Target tank arrives here for the German army in this sector. Now then, how well can Norsk make use of it here versus Fortune, and what will Fortune do in response to the target tank's arrival? Moving up, he might be planning a flank. He might even be trying to make a strike here for the house and clear it out. Bit of a deep flank, a bit risky, since he doesn't know if there's mines, but it could work out. Though he should probably back it up with a few Panzer forces, some infantry if he goes for that one. Pinlock machine there being added to the target tank. T-44 about to encounter its second worst nightmare. The actual worst nightmare being a lot of Stooks. T-54 shoots, misses here the Tiger tank. A bit of a feat considering that the Tiger tank's actually kind of big. Fortune flying up with the HQ5 tanks on top of the dog field to help deal with the Tiger tank and probably also the 2 Panther 4s. We've almost got the engineers and machine gun, heavy main gun fire. They just almost clearing out the engineers, but poor little Boris managed to run away. Panther 4 moving up, 20 kills there for the fatherland, pursuing here aggressively. Should be careful not to push too far ahead. Could also pop a smoke through and rush the field gun here, allowing the Tiger tank to get closer, but just decides to take it on. We've got artillery fire down here from the howitzer on the armored assault. Field gun wipe, needs to be careful with the Panther 4 though. And should destroy the field gun if possible. Should deny it here to Fortune until he can't just recruit. T-54 getting Panther fasted. Tiger tank here flanking it. Other field gun moving up. Garsman as well here. Almost got the field gun units being murdered here. Grenadiers, in fact, he's down to just 1 squad, having started out with 4. Bit of a problem there for Norsk in some ways. He needs more infantry. He can't just rely on the tanks, no matter how much veterans and how good they are. Field gun there being recruited by the Tiger tank. We got buttoning up here as well. Good play there by Fortune. There we go, almost got the concept with the Garsman with the Tiger tank. Field guns there surrounding the Tiger tank. As you should have just destroyed that one tonight. Got it cleared out. At least fast. He should fire moving in here as Norsk is circling, but he's getting hit there by the T-54 as well. And he's going to get rammed by T-54 with a damaged engine. That's a bit awkward. Norsk has overextended. He's gone too far. Taking the situation actually, I think, close to winning, and might just give Fortune a good shot of winning it because he'd rather throw away that Tiger tank. Less than still a play there by Norsk. He's still in control of most of the map though. Fortune still suffering heavy losses, but Norsk is not, I'd say, doing this as efficiently and cleanly as he could, which does give Fortune more of a chance to turn this around with a few good shots, a few good flanks. Oh dear, he might lose the Veggie 2 Pence 1 up. Pack 4 to the flanking, taking out the HQ5. Fortune has no armor left. His howitzer is halfway to virtually free. 189 and 17 versus 382. Norsk still has the 2 Panther 4s left. They're both having damage. Fortune there could do with a bit more infantry and a bit more aggression and just a bit more howitzer. Firing in here into the base, I guess. Direct hit, taking out the Panther 4. Quite a blow there to Norsk. Quite a blow. And so you highlight, I should always be careful about where positioning it stuff. I mean, in this case, he fired into the base. He placed it right at the center of it. I mean, you know, there's a chance your heavily damaged tank's going to get hit. I mean, in this case, it's not going to take, you know, genius to figure out he's most likely to position his tank inside of his own bases to place it more at the edges rather than right next to the medic bunker, which is right next to the headquarters, which is usually where most artillery shots will be aimed. So right there, Norsk needs to be a bit more careful how he positions his stuff, and keep in mind that certain targets just draw more artillery and trying to position units in such a way that he doesn't make for amazing artillery targets, like for example placing his heavily damaged Panther 4 right here. It kind of reminds me of back in the camp, and here's one, you know, where one of the rules is just, you know, if you got a medic bunker up, you do not place anything else around the medic bunker because that medic bunker will attract all of the artillery. Meaning anything else next to that medic bunker is going to get hit as well. Similarly here, you know, base central there, don't place anything there that's important unless you absolutely, you know, can avoid it because it's going to attract a lot of artillery. So, very good thing there to keep in mind. We got 22 kills on the howitzer. Pretty good work there for Fortune. That howitzer, I would safely say, has paid itself off, killing many a pioneers and taking out a Panther 4. Mortar take back in action here from Norsk. Doing some kills with it, but overall he still seems to be using it passively. Great to see some punch grenadiers out. At least some infantry and certainly some infantry they can sort of push, which is great and exactly what Norsk needs. Now this T-54 almost done here for Fortune. Bit of push up here, hold here by a Russian in before we got conscripts with flames shooting up maximum as well. Panzer they need to retreat. Gatling from another side. This Jason looking pretty bad for the Panzer. They're close being wiped out here for Norsk for the dead army, and there you go, wiped out. Bad loss there for Norsk, too slow to retreat. Too slow to retreat. And there you go, direct hit on the mortar half-track from the howitzer. Veteran 3, 25 kills. Absolutely terrible news there for Norsk. Calling in more pioneers, which is great, but it feels a bit too late here. Mortar half-track laying down a bit more fire here. 4 kills, closing in veteran to 1. Seems to have done better than the first mortar half-track Norsk managed out, to be honest. Following up with another Panther 4. Mortar half-track went down again. Pack 40 with the T-54 from 6. Bombarding the base, lots of shots just flying off. I mean, the third house is not hugely accurate either, which is also important to keep in mind. 27 kills though, and there you go, GG. Norsk surrenders. A loss here for the Feldherrn Halle, a victory for the 2nd Guards Mechanized Corps, partly just due to the house and it's a sheer shock effect. I also feel like Norsk just kept picking fights around the centre rather than trying to fight more around the map, in particular preserve his own fuel while denying fortune fuel. That I think also helped out fortune a lot at several times, allowing him to ensure that Norsk did not get ahead in resources despite trying to a 3 rush, forcing an active backtake at some point to go for other stuff. So I think there were some issues there with Norsk strategy and tactics which fortune could exploit, and certainly fortune I think also played well, makes him really good, and also just less usual moves which I think put some pressure on Norsk and might have just thrown a bit off his game as well. The house though definitely turned out to be a really great pick here for fortune. So there you go, hope you enjoyed this match, hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, share it with your friends, your family, but not your enemies. This is Imperial Link signing off, and see you all another time for another video. You're all wonderful audience, and I hope to see you all tomorrow again. Bye.